Greetings everyone and welcome back to the channel for another unlicensed 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Redman Toys Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula to be more specific, from the 1992 Francis Ford Coppola film. Starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Keanu Reeves, Anthony Hopkins. This film was, as I say, released back in 1992, and I'm a huge fan of Coppola. Love The Godfather, love Apocalypse Now. When I first saw this film, though, I didn't love it. I didn't get it. There was something off about it for me, and it's taken a few viewings over the years for me to actually come to love it and for me to get what Coppola was trying to do. Pay homage, I think, to sort of those monster movies of the 20s, 30s and 40s. It's over the top, it's colourful, it's garish, the special effects are ropey, the performances are completely over the top, which is completely matching with those films, those classic monster films. So finally I did get it, and I do appreciate it, and I've been after a sort of an iteration, shall we say, of Gary Oldman's Dracula for quite some time. Now, I know Redman Toys have got a bit of a reputation, and they do cause a bit of a knee-jerk response amongst collectors. They recast a lot of custom figures and other artists' work, and produce them at a price point which makes them a lot more accessible to your average collector. Some people don't like this practice. Some people think that it's taking away from other artists' work. I'm not going to get too much into the politics of that right now. I've always wanted this figure in my collection, and I've got it. This is about the figure itself and not the politics behind it. So, as always, what we'll be doing is taking a look at the box, diving down onto the table, having a look at all the accessories that come with the figure. Then it'll be onto the figure itself, onto the stand, onto the turntable, taking a closer look at the figure. Then it'll be over into the detolf, see how this guy displays under the detolf lights, and wrapping the whole thing up. Now, I know there's a few versions of this figure. I believe it was initially released 4 to 5 years ago. I could be wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comment section below if I am. I think the original version had a bust of Dracula in full transformation bat appearance. This is version 2. I'm not sure exactly when this was released, but this one is the one that comes with the illuminated lantern. Not 100% certain how many versions there have been of this particular figure, but yeah, let's have a close-up look at the box. But before we do that, I'd just like to say a huge shout out to everyone who's subscribed to the channel, everyone who's liked, commented. For those of you who haven't, who are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. We have lots more content coming up, new figures, retro figures. So yeah, hit that subscribe button. And I'd also like to say a massive shout out to William Wang, as always, who provided me with this figure. If you're after anything 1/6 scale, if you're after statues, busts, whatever it might be, drop him a line and I'm sure he will be happy to oblige. And as I say, as always, there'll be a link to his Facebook page in the description below. So without further ado, let's take a quick look at this box, and it will be a quick look simply because it's standard Redman Toys fare. Not an awful lot goes into the packaging. I think the money's gone into the figure, which is sometimes a good sign, but it's your standard Redman Toys black box, Redman Toys across the front, 1/6 scale collectible figure, the reference number on there, it's a shoebox design, and that's it. That's what you get. Literally a black box. Oh, there's a warning on the bottom there, and that's it. Yeah, this figure's not been out of the box yet. It's brand new to me, so we'll be going into unexplored territory. But as always, let's dive down to the table and have a look at everything that comes with your Dracula figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Redman Toys Dracula figure. And there's not an awful lot, but as we mentioned before, Redman Toys work to a price point. So let's take a look at the bits and pieces. Let's start with the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hands. There are no hands on the figure as it comes out of the box, so you only get 2 pairs of hands. Let's have a quick look. They're both very similar. Sort of, you get 1 pair that are open palmed, like this, and another pair which are sort of more. One's more sort of gripping and one's, well, pointing maybe, I don't know. But let's take a closer look at the quality of these hands. And I have to say, straight out of the box, I am quite impressed. Let's see if we can get some more light over onto these hands. The hands themselves are very, very well done considering the price point. I don't know whether the camera's picking this up, but the paint washes are nice. They've got an aged look about them. There's a sort of a rather deathly pallor to the quality of the skin colour that matches the head sculpt as well. There's a shine on those fingernails there, which is very, very nice. There's a lot of vein work. The skin texturing's nice. Looks like there's a few paint washes on there. Pretty well done considering the price point, and obviously they've cast on there the Dracula's signet ring. Not much detail on there, but it is quite obviously. I'll get that into the camera a little bit more. Quite obviously the ring, the Dracula signet ring. So yeah, for the price point, pretty good. I'm quite liking these hands. So yeah, that's that one. Let's take a closer look at another one. Same story here. These fingernails are quite sharp, so be careful with them. Yeah, same story here as well. And that ring is continued around the inside as well. So not bad at all. As I say, for the price point, I am pretty impressed with those. So that's the hands. Let's move on. Let's take a quick look at the base. I believe the original didn't come with the base, but this has got sort of your obligatory oval base here with a sticker on it. Nothing too fancy, but I am quite liking this sticker here with the Dracula logo on there and the sort of the gargoyle-like emblem. I think that's quite nice. I'm not the world's biggest fan of these, and I will be using a custom base as always, or another base from another figure. But if as far as bog standard oval bases go, this is pretty good, and I think it's lifted by the quality of this sticker on here. As always, standard issue crotch grabber. So yep, that's your stand. Let's put that to one side. What else do we get? We'll put the hands to one side. While we're on the hands, yep, 2 spare wrist pegs. Always nice to see in a little bag. Put these hands over there. This was rather unusual when I took this out of the box. It took me a while to figure out what this is. This is actually, well, what looks like, I'll take it out of the bag so we can have a closer look. Looks like fluff. Just looks like some cotton or nylon. It feels like nylon material. And I was wondering what this was for. Is it a smoke effect? And then I realised it's actually, if you're wanting to do this, because I believe the original figure came with small pieces of this actually glued inside the palms of the hands. They've not actually attached it this time on this version, and I'm assuming if you're wanting to do to be completely screen accurate and have the hairy palms, which he does have in the film, the character, as played by Gary Oldman, then you've got the option there with this little bit of nylon in a bag. So yeah, nice touch there from Redman. So we'll put that to one side. I won't be using this. I don't think anyone's going to get close enough to the figure to see how hairy his palms are. What else do we get? Yeah, let's take a look at this sword. And very nice it is too. Solid metal, all one piece of metal. Some nice paintwork on the hilt there, some black paintwork. It's very, very shiny. Quite screen accurate, as I recall. I haven't seen the film for a few years, but as I recall, this is pretty screen accurate. Quite sharp, so be careful with this if you're getting your hands on it. But yeah, solid metal. Nice to see your metal sword. It'll be interesting to see how the figure manages to support this, because sometimes there are issues with the 6-scale figures holding or being able to grip the completely metal swords. But yeah, some very, very nice work there. Very shiny. I was going to say metallic looking, but it is metal. So there you go. Very nice, effective sword. We'll put that to one side. Let's take a look at this. Inside this box comes with the figure itself, and inside this box is the illuminating lantern that he can actually hold. I'll just put this box to one side, and let's take a closer look at this. Now, this is all metal. The chain is metal. The hand, I think the only thing that's plastic on this is the actual handle itself, and very, very nice it is too. I'm not sure whether the camera's picking up the intricate detailing on the metalwork there. Let's get it closer in so you can get a closer look at that. But yeah, very, very nice detailing work in there. There are multiple colours on the inside. I'm not sure whether that's a a plastic. It looks like it's a plastic that's in these gaps here to give it that dash of colour. Yeah, it's very ornate, very pretty, quite heavy, but not too much weight, but a little bit of heft to it as it's all metallic. And its party piece, I believe, is if you press this at the bottom there, it illuminates. There's an LED inside. I'm not sure whether that's bright enough to be picked up by the camera, but yeah, you can have your Dracula figure carrying the lantern, carrying the sword, carrying both, and a nice accessory, which I believe is unique to this version too. So yeah, that's the lantern. We'll put that to one side. And really there's only one other thing to talk about, and that's this marvellous gown. Now I'm not sure whether we're going to get all of this in shot actually, because it is huge. It really is huge. Might have to pull back a little bit, but yeah, let's open this up so we can take a closer look at it. And maybe, there we go. I'm not sure whether the camera's picking up the colours here, but this is a beautiful red. It's got a gorgeous sheen to it. It really does pop, and it is massive. It really is long. It'd be interesting to see how it fits on the figure. But yeah, it's got this gold insignia on either side here. The stitch work is very nice. It's lined inside. The inside feels like it may be a cotton or maybe a man-made material. The outside most certainly is this sort of satin sheen to it, this high shine material, and it is very nice. The stitching is excellent. Not sure if the camera's picking that up there. I'll get it into the camera. Yeah, just very well made. It's got some weight to it. It is very long and quite screen accurate, I believe. But yeah, so there you have it. That's the gown that he wears. Let's put that to one side. Normally we don't do this. Normally we jump straight into the figure, but Redman Toys are rather unusual in as much as their figures come not fully dressed and without the hands on. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the figure on the turntable and the stand exactly as it comes out of the box, and then we'll add some of the accessories and take a closer look at him. So without further ado, on to the main event. Let's bring out the Prince of Darkness himself. Okay, so here he is, the main event himself, Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, Gary Oldman. Rather unusual for this channel, but what we're doing is taking him straight out of the box and onto the turntable, so we can just take a look at this sort of undershirt, if you will, before we put the rest of the clothing on. Well, the rest of the clothing, just the red cape that goes over this. And as I say, this is exactly how he comes out of the box. There's no hands attached, and it was just to give you an idea, really, of what it looks like without that without that red cape on. And this this undershirt, if you will, this nightshirt, undershirt, whatever it is made pretty much of the same material that the cloak stroke cape is made out of. Very shiny, high gloss, sort of feels artificial, probably a polyester or some such material, but it's got a nice silky feel to it, and there is a very nice design. We will stop him spinning so you can take a look at that. Just bear with me. Oh, and if this turntable wants to cooperate, which, as viewers to my channel will know, this turntable is possessed, has a mind of its own. But yeah, we'll take a quick look underneath as well. What you've got under here, it's obviously worked to a price point when you see this body. You've got some sort of red slippers stroke loafers, which are pegged directly into the feet. They're just one piece of sculpted plastic painted red, pretty screen accurate. It's not the most posable of bodies, but as I say, Redman Toys work to a price point. As you can see, the body itself has got, I would imagine, has got 30 points of articulation. It is not the sturdiest of bodies, but and is a bit janky in places. But as I say, Redman work to a price point. I suppose the most important part is the outfit and the head sculpt itself. We're going to take a closer look at that head sculpt once we've got the cloak on, and also when we get over to the detolf as usual. Not sure whether these lights are doing this head sculpt justice. I'm not sure whether they've repainted it since the first version of this came out. I've checked out some reviews, and as far as I can see, I think the paintwork is actually better on this head sculpt, and that's the real strength of this piece is the quality of the head sculpt, which, you know, it's a recast at the end of the day. Whoever did it originally did one hell of a job. They really did. But as far as I can see, they've actually improved the paintwork on this head sculpt. We'll take a closer look when we've got him fully clothed up, and this hair has been improved as well. Not only the screen accuracy of the colour, but also the way that this long piece at the back falls. But yeah, let's get him into the cloak, get some hands on him, and get him back onto the turntable. Okay, so here he is, Dracula, with the gown, stroke cape, stroke cloak, whatever it is, on, the hands on and onto the turntable, and that was a job and a half in itself. Getting all this guy in frame is not easy. That is one hell of a long cloak, stroke cape, stroke whatever. Yeah, a few issues came out of getting this thing on. The body is exceptionally janky. It is not a high quality body at all. The weight of this head sculpt is quite phenomenal, simply because of all this hair. This hair piece at the back is all one sculpted piece of plastic. It is very, very heavy, and literally when you move the figure around, the head just wobbles all over the place. It's not, as I say, not on the highest quality of bodies, but as my other half just commented, it just goes to show what a good outfit can do for you, because once you've got this thing on, it is actually quite spectacular. It's really down to the outfit and the quality of the head sculpt. Body is really, if you're wanting to replace it, then go ahead and replace it. I would recommend that if possible. But it's a very simple outfit. It's only two pieces, really. But you know, when you combine that with this head sculpt, let's get him spinning while there's a gap. Stop him spinning rather while there's a gap in this ridiculous cloak, and then we'll move it back a little bit so that I can get all of that in shot. It just looks absolutely phenomenal. It really does. Pretty screen accurate as well, as far as I can see. And it just straight away, it's so imposing, incredibly imposing. I'm going to move the camera a little bit closer up so we can get a closer look at that head sculpt. I don't want to cut the top of his head off. We'll get a closer look under the detail lights as always. But as I say, it really is. It's the outfit and the head on this one that really, really make it. As I say, exceptionally heavy, this head, so be very, very careful with it. And I would also say as well, if you are thinking getting this figure, be careful when you're putting this on, this particular garment, and handling the figure underneath as well. Even the tiniest jank in your fingernails or burrs on your fingers can pull threads on this. It's a very, very fine material, so be exceptionally careful with it. But yeah, not an awful lot else to say about this, other than this rather amazing head sculpt. There's multiple paint washes on there. The skin texturing is wonderful. I think this is probably the lighting I've got it under here. It looks shiny on camera, but it isn't actually shiny. You've got almost like vein work underneath that skin, purpley bluish veins. The eyes are nice and glassy. Obviously, the likeness to Gary Oldman is there, courtesy of a recast. But yeah, it's stunning. The sort of weathered age look of the skin, the wrinkles, it's absolutely spot on. It really, really is 100% spot on. From every angle, that is Gary Oldman as Dracula in Bram Stoker's Dracula. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So what we're going to do next, as we always do, is get him over into the detolf, get him under the detolf lights, and see how this guy displays. But I think we pretty much know it's going to be a thumbs up. But okay, without further ado, it's over to the detolf. Okay, so here we are over at the detolf with Gary Oldman, Bram Stoker's Dracula, courtesy of Francis Ford Coppola, courtesy of Redman Toys. So how does this guy display? Well, he's got a shelf to himself. That says an awful lot. I was going to put him onto a custom display base, but probably not worth it considering the length of the garments that he's wearing. I'm actually using a tripod at the moment to just give you some idea of how this guy displays. We're going to go handheld. We're just having a quick wander around with the actual tripod itself. But as you can see, the quality of the tailoring is excellent. That head sculpt, and I'm actually hand holding this light, trying to get the best out of that head sculpt. But we will, as I say, we will go handheld for the end of this review, just so you can get a bit closer. But yeah, head sculpt excellent, clothing very, very well done. Yeah, accessories meager, but they do the job. He displays very well with that lantern and very, very well with that sword. Shelf presence speaks for itself. Absolutely phenomenal shelf presence. But yeah, let's go handheld so we can get a bit more up close and personal with this piece, which I know is going to be divisive, but I love it. So yeah, let's get closer to him. Okay, so we've gone handheld for this last section, so we can get a closer look at that head sculpt. But as you can see, it's a very, very impressive figure on the shelf. Let's take a closer look all around him. Let's get into this outfit, this costume, and this rather wonderful head sculpt. And yes, okay, it's a recast, say what you will, but I think they have done a marvellous job there. As you can see, the skin texturing, the paintwork, the likeness to Gary Oldman is phenomenal. It's not without its faults, this figure. It could do with a much better body, but for the price point, and without having to fork out 4 figures for a very, very expensive and very, very rare custom job, if you're wanting to get a representation of Gary Oldman as Dracula from Bram Stoker's Dracula, then you can't go far wrong with this. I posed him with the sword and with the illuminated lantern, which is rather nice, quite spectacular. But yeah, overall, the shelf presence is phenomenal. Tailoring very, very good, if somewhat meager. Body appalling. Head sculpt phenomenal. Yeah, just a great figure. A great figure at this price point, and I'm really glad to have it in the collection alongside all the other horror characters that I have. So yeah, there you have it. That's Redman Toys version 2. Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola's Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that is a mouthful. But yeah, that about wraps it up for this video. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We've got lots more content coming up. Plenty more retro videos. Those who are already subscribed to my channel know that we do regular retro reviews. We've also got a lot of new stuff coming up. There's the Hot Toys Wolverine, the In-Art Batman. We've got I believe, HH Toys, The Barbarian, which is actually Arnold Schwarzenegger from Conan the Barbarian. That's coming in soon. A lot of stuff from XO6. We'll also be kicking off the new year with an updated tour video, so hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that. Yeah, so all it remains for me to say is Happy New Year from me, from Gary Oldman, and stay safe and happy collecting.